voting this season?
Leading up to Election Day, canvassers are making a final push to encourage people to vote yes on ballot question number 2 in Minneapolis.
That's what this new Department of Public Safety is about.
Which reads, in part, shall the Minneapolis City Charter be amended to remove the police department and replace it with the Department of Public Safety?
It's really setting the table, if you will, for policymakers in the future to come forward and say what should be in the public safety department.
It's not abolishing the police department. It's not getting rid of police officers.
There are certain functions in our city that can only be done by licensed police officers. That doesn't change whether this amendment number 2 question passes or not.
In the aftermath of George Floyd's murder, there were calls to defund and even dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
Ending the Minneapolis Police Department.
A year and a half and over 20,000 petition signatures later, those controversial ideas aren't quite on the ballot. But organizers say needed reform is.
Slogans get really popular. We also know that slogans are not policies. It does not abolish the police department, does not even really dismantle the police department. What it does is it makes it possible to expand it so that it becomes the Department of Public Safety so that you can add other qualified professionals to it.
They hope the new department will include things like mental health professionals and violence prevention counselors, but the ballot question doesn't include specifics that could only be hammered out if it passes and after the newly elected mayor and city council are sworn in.
There's too much at stake to just, say, well, vote for this. And vote for what?
Tito Wilson owns a Minneapolis barbershop and says he witnessed the police killing of Jamar Clark, a 24-year-old black man, in 2015.
Even after witnessing a police killing, after living here in Minneapolis through all that happened around the murder of George Floyd, you still feel the right way to go is vote no.
It feels like and sounds like an experiment. They have not been able to flush out from top to bottom what this Department of Public Safety is going to look like. To just say, hey, just trust us. We're going to put this together. We're going to make you safe. It's reckless.
The chief of police also has concerns.
And again, I was not expecting some sort of robust, detailed word-for-word plan. But at this point, quite frankly, I would take a drawing on a napkin. And I've not seen either.
But advocates say it'll create the opportunity to make policing easier.
They will no longer have to be deployed in every single circumstance that we use 911 for.
I'm going to have somebody call you.
Back on the canvassing route, the needs are plain.
If it's not going to be any officers that can relate to what we go through out here,
Absolutely.
Prejudice, racism, whatever we're up against, they got to be able to directly relate to that.
This armed police only response that we have isn't working.
I understand, but it needs to be pragmatic.